You just got rear-ended, you're sitting on the side of the road in Los Angeles, your neck hurts, your bumper's crushed, and you're already thinking about the bills, the ER visit, the time off from work, the rental car. You just want someone to make this right. And then 3 days later, your phone rings. It's the insurance adjuster, and she says something that sounds like the best news you've heard all week. We'd like to offer you $12,000 to settle your claim. What you do in the next 48 hours will determine whether you walk away with $12,000 or 10 times that amount. Most people take that first offer. They're stressed. The bills are piling up. $12,000 sounds like relief. They sign the release, cash the check, and close the file. And that right there is the most expensive mistake I've seen in 30 years of representing car accident victims in California. I've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for injured people across Los Angeles and throughout California. And I can tell you that the first offer from an insurance company is almost never what your car accident settlement is actually worth. I'm going to show you exactly how a California car accident settlement is calculated, the 4 things that make yours worth dramatically more, and the exact words to say when the adjuster calls, because that's when she's counting on you not knowing any of this. So here's what most people don't realize about that phone call. When an insurance adjuster sends you an early offer, that is not generosity. That is a technique called early resolution targeting. The adjuster's job is not to pay you what your claim is worth. Her job is to close your file for as little as possible, as fast as possible, before you understand what you're actually owed. Here's why speed matters to them. 3 days after your accident, you don't know the full extent of your injuries yet. That neck pain, it might heal in a week, or it might turn into a herniated disc that requires surgery 6 months from now. But if you've already signed a release for $12,000, you can't go back, ever. That release is permanent. You just settled a case that could have been worth $200,000 for $12,000. The insurance company knows this. They've done the math. The earlier they get you to sign, the less they pay. That's not my opinion. That's their business model. So how is a car accident settlement actually calculated in California? Your settlement is built from 2 categories. The first is economic damages, the hard costs, your medical bills, your future medical treatment, your lost wages and lost earning capacity. Your property damage. These are the numbers on receipts and pay stubs. The second category, where most car accident settlements are won or lost, is non-economic damages. Your pain and suffering, your emotional distress, the way this injury has disrupted your daily life. There's no receipt for pain and suffering, which is exactly why the insurance company tries to minimize it. Here's what determines where your settlement falls. I'm going to start with several factors. Let's start with factor number 1, the severity and permanence of your injury. In my opinion, this is the single biggest driver of your car accident settlement value in California. A soft tissue injury that heals in a few weeks is valued completely differently from a back injury that requires spinal fusion surgery. And here's what most people miss. Insurance companies use a multiplier system to calculate pain and suffering. They take your total medical bills and multiply them. 1.5 times, 2 times, 3 times, sometimes a little bit higher for permanent injuries or surgeries. But that multiplier is not a rule, it's a negotiation. And what moves up is one thing: documentation. Consistent medical treatment. Your doctors explicitly connecting your injuries to the crash. A clear paper trail showing how your daily life changed. Every appointment you keep, every MRI you get, every time your doctor writes, quote, patient reports difficulty sleeping due to accident-related pain, end quote. That's the money in your settlement. And every appointment you miss, every gap in treatment, that's money coming out of your settlement. Factor number 2, California comparative fault rule. California uses pure comparative negligence. That means if you were partly at fault for the accident, say you were found 20% responsible, you can still recover. Your settlement just gets reduced by your percentage of fault. And here's the key point. The insurance adjuster will try to pin as much blame as possible on you, because every percentage point of fault comes directly out of your car accident settlement. If your claim is worth $200,000 and they convince you that you were 30% at fault, that's $60,000 they just saved. This is a trained negotiation tactic. It's not a legal finding. Do not accept fault percentages from an insurance adjuster. That's what a courtroom is for. Factor number 3, the available insurance. The other driver's policy has a maximum. If your damages exceed that limit, most people think they're stuck. But here's what a good California car accident lawyer looks at that most people don't know exists. You may be paying for coverage in your policy for what's called uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. It may be in your policy right now. Every policy in California is required to have it unless you waive it in writing. So if the other driver's policy maxes out at $50,000 and your claim is worth $300,000, your own UIM coverage can fill that gap. I've recovered millions of dollars for clients from their own insurance policies, money they were entitled to and didn't even know about. Every available policy gets examined, not just the obvious one. Factor number 4, timing. When you settle matters almost as much as how much you settle for. Settling too early before you know the full extent of your injuries is the number one reason people leave money on the table. Here's the real numbers. Minor soft tissue injuries that fully heal tend to settle on the lower end. Injuries requiring months of physical therapy, injections, or imaging climb significantly. And when there's a surgery involved, a spinal fusion, a joint repair, California car accident settlements commonly move into 6 figures. Catastrophic injuries like traumatic brain injury, spinal cord damage, those can exceed $1 million. Let me give you a real example. Our firm recently represented a client who was driving on the 110 freeway here in Los Angeles. He was hit by a driver operating a Tesla in a self-driving mode and slammed into the guardrail. He suffered a back and neck injuries serious enough to require spinal fusion surgery. That car accident claim resulted in a $2 million recovery. Now, past results never guarantee your outcome, and every case turns on its own facts, but it shows the principle that when the injury is severe and the treatment is well documented, the value of a car accident case in California reflects that. Now, here's what to say when the adjuster calls. The phone rings, it's 3 days after your accident, the adjuster offers you a number that sounds reasonable. Here are the exact words I want you to use. Thank you. I'm not in a position to discuss settlement until I've completed my medical treatment and consulted with an attorney. That's it. Let me break down why this works. 1, thank you. You're being polite. You're not burning a bridge with the adjuster. This process is long and you'll deal with this person again. I'm not in a position to discuss settlement. You're not saying no, you're saying not yet. This is critical. You haven't rejected anything. You've preserved your right to negotiate later when you actually know what your claim is worth. Until I've completed my medical treatment. This is the key phrase. You're telling the adjuster that you understand your settlement value depends on your final medical picture, which you don't have yet. This signals that you're informed, and adjusters handle uninformed claimants differently from informed claimants. And consulted with an attorney. This changes the entire dynamic. The moment you mention an attorney, the adjuster's approach shifts. The lowball tactics slow down. The pressure to sign a quick release disappears. You don't even need to have hired one yet. The words alone can change the conversation. Now, when they push back, and they will, pushback number 1, this offer won't be available forever. That's a pressure tactic. Your response, I understand. I'll follow up once my treatment is complete. In California, you have 2 years from the date of the accident to file a personal injury lawsuit. Their offer isn't going anywhere. They want to create urgency so you sign before you understand the full value. Pushback number 2. You really don't need a lawyer for something like this. It's very straightforward. Here's what you must remember. When an insurance adjuster tells you that you don't need a lawyer, that is the single clearest sign that you do. They're not protecting your interests. They're protecting their budget. Studies consistently show that claimants with attorneys recover significantly higher net settlements even after legal fees. So your response, I appreciate that. I still like to have my case reviewed before making any decisions. Here's what you need to do right now if you've been in a car accident in California. Number 1, do not give a recorded statement to the other driver's insurance company without consulting an attorney first. That's critical. You have no legal obligation to provide a recorded statement to the other party's insurance. Number 2, Go to every medical appointment, document everything. Every gap in treatment is money the insurance company takes out of your settlement. Number 3, do not post about your accident on social media. Insurance companies will have access and check that and throw it back in your face. Number 4, save everything. Photos of the damage, the police report number, receipts, pay stubs showing missed work. And 5, when that adjuster calls with the first offer, you know exactly what to say. Thank you. I'm not in a position to discuss settlement until I've completed my medical treatment and consulted with an attorney. That one sentence could be the difference between $12,000 and $200,000. Now, the insurance adjuster isn't done. She's going to use 7 specific tactics to shrink your settlement before you ever see it. I broke down every single one of those tricks in this next video right here that's on the screen. So watch it before you talk to any adjuster. And if you've been hurt in a car accident anywhere in California, our consultations are 100% free. The number on your screen and in the description is all you need to do to call, and we'll see you on the next one.